pretty sweet music, right?
It's free. YouTube
being
can't
generic,
yell at
I'll take it.
YouTube cannot yell at us.
YouTube cannot yell at us.
And why would you yell at us? What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode number 27 of the Just Too Sweet Show. My name this week, anyway, is Kamala. Over here, we got Mr. A.Z. Whippleman. And down below, even though he didn't change his name, we're going to call him Kim Chief for today. So that's Hollywood Dave. What's going on, guys?
I had to, it's the Hulkster's birthday. I had to honor him. I know all you guys are going with the old school, so I know we've been burying him, but
I got the Mega Power shirt on today. I'm going
to tear my tank top off at the end.
So what else is going on? How was your week? Having fun?
Yeah, not bad. Random drop-ins by girls getting kisses. I'm having a good week.
So after last week, which was hysterical, us talking about our Dungeon of Doom costume party. Well, one of the members of the Dungeon of Doom ups and dies on us. And it just happens to be the one that I wanted to be.
Kamala.
That's right, Mr. Was it James Harris?
Jim Sugar Bear Harris.
Jim, that's it. That's the one. Yeah, he passed away. That really sucks. Oh. And he was definitely one of the great big men of all time. Mm-hmm. Very athletic. Very I don't know how you want to put it. Eric, tell me about your thoughts on Mr. Kamala. Tabala.
I remember the Kamala when we were young. I was scared to death of him because you know how when you're growing up and anything from Parts Unknown or Deepest Darkest Africa or Uganda. And they show you the National Geographic and they show native people and they're killing lions and stuff and how comes this 6'7", 400-pound dude with a spear and a big mask. I mean, I'm and that. Tell me his music wasn't creepy, a little bit.
It was creepy. It was very.
It scared the shit out of me. So but that was cool because I think that's what it was meant to do. And I think he played that part so well because probably up until about the year 2000, I didn't think he could talk, I thought he just made noises and, whatever. But it was great. I remember he fought Hogan in Madison Square Garden. That was a good match. He had a really cool LJN wrestler. But yeah, no, Kamala, like you were saying, what an athlete. He's very agile for his size. He would come off the top rope and splash.
He'd leapfrog. He'd leapfrog guys 6'2", 6'3".
He would leapfrog guys. I think he even did insecurity kicks almost, I think, too. And remember, we can't not mention the notable feud from '92 when it culminated at SummerSlam. Actually, it didn't culminate at SummerSlam. It kind of started with The Undertaker. And I think Kamala was important in shaping the lore of The Undertaker because Kamala was basically an unstoppable beast. You know what I mean? He was just it was Kamala. You're not going to beat Kamala. And The Undertaker wiped the floor with him, and then the casket match. I think it's Survivor Series, right? That was after SummerSlam. And but no, I think Kamala was extremely important, and I'm very sad that he died. I know he had a lot of health problems, in later years and stuff. So my thoughts and well wishes are out to his family. But thank you, Kamala, for providing us, an integral part of our youth. I mean, it was amazing.
They showed his vignette before he showed up, and he looked a lot different. I guess it was because a lot younger. They put the makeup on different, but he wasn't as scary. He wasn't as scary until the Kamala that we know with the around his mouth.
Yeah,
and the fact that he didn't talk.
Yep.
Anyway, I'll play it. As a tribute. You better look behind you. You got the bushes behind you. They may come out and get you. Kamala, man, Kamala
was so great.
It was great, and like you said, he definitely was scary to kids, especially in the era of kayfabe. How do you see Kamala come out of the arena? Actually, you think they even let him walk out of the arena? They probably had to sneak him out. No, he has to be one of those guys.
Yeah, because even when he's without the makeup and without his loincloth and stuff, he's still a giant black guy and with a bald head. So you're gonna know like immediately like that's Kamala. So I think they probably like had like did the Hogan thing, snuck him out or whatever. But yeah, but no, it was Kamala was awesome, man. Like I was really stunned, especially like you said, since we were talking about the Dungeon of Doom. Why do I look all like droopy? He's stealing someone's Amazon. Hey, I think I got a box out here somewhere. But
what's up, Rollo? Rollo checking in. Scott Peterson, welcome, Scott. Scott, I'm just shocked. I'm shocked, Scott. I'm shocked, but good to see you. There he is. You laughed. I don't know if I laughed. I was a little terrified of him, but yeah, I laughed too because he didn't talk and he used to slap his belly. He gave us fat kids a hero.
He did. He was a plus-size wrestler.
He was more than plus-size. That was a big dude, man.
Very big.
What's up, Bunk? Yeah, so what do you think? You think his feud with The Undertaker was probably his best? I think so.
I think it was.
At least in WWF.
WWF. The Hogan feud, do you remember? He feuded with him for a bit. They called Hogan the Great White Bengal Tiger, which didn't make any sense because Kamala's from Africa and a Bengal tiger's from India. I mean, that just, But no, the Hogan feud was good. But no, the Undertaker feud was by far Bunker's band. It was by far the best feud he had. And, I think it provided him a lot of notoriety too. But you hear the stories, like, and he said it himself, like on interviews, that like he didn't get like his payoffs weren't as good and all that other stuff. And you don't know what to believe. Like I'm not disagreeing with him and I'm not disputing him, but that it kind of like takes the wind out of your sails when you hear stuff like that. So I thought this was the debate. My bad, Vinnie Mac. Well,
save that stuff for the Met show.
He's Bunk Bagwell.
Oh,
Bunk Bagwell.
I don't know how you're going to take that, Bunk. That could be good or bad, depending on how you want to look at it.
He is pretty buff.
Dave, you're the youngster. Kamala, give us your impression of Kamala, because you're the youngster. You had to probably look him up when you were when you figured out who he was.
That's what took so long. It wasn't the T-shirt.
Oh, you were looking up Kamala, right? That's what you're looking up Kamala facts and factoids.
That's exactly what I was doing.
So what?
Not
what
messing around with my mic.
So what do you think of Kamala? What do you think? How was he?
So I mean, from the very, very brief stuff I've seen from Kamala, it's like what Eric was saying. Like, you saw him and he put fear into people just because he stayed in character. You didn't know if he talked or not. Like, he was just one of those guys that I feel like even in the back and stuff, obviously I wouldn't know, I wasn't there, that he feels like he would stay in character and just go about his way.
Yes. And he was scary. And I said, just in case anybody missed it last week, we just happened to be talking about laughing at the Dungeon of Doom and how ridiculous they were. And we're going to do Just Two Sweet is going to do a Dungeon of Doom themed Halloween show. And I am going to be Kamala Tabala, like it says.
He's going to be Kamala. Who was I? Who am I?
Who'd you want to be? I forgot who you wanted to be.
Wasn't I going to be Kevin Sullivan or something? Or
yep, Kevin Sullivan. That's who it was.
or wait a minute. Should I be Hogan?
You wanted to be the Yeti, didn't you?
No, that was Bert.
Bert.
Oh, okay.
Should I be Hogan though? Like, if you guys are all scary, should I be like, oh, wait a minute, brother?
I think we should all. I think we should all be Dungeon of Doom guys. What's up, Mike? Welcome to the show.
Mike Santa Maria.
Yes. Michael.
You're right, Scott. He was. And Bunk, you are absolutely 100,000% correct.
Whoa. Did I just see that right? Scott Peterson?
Scott Peterson.
That's right. If you weren't here, Scott Peterson, not only is he here, he commented a few times already.
Whoa.
That's awesome. This is a big day.
You know,
I'm shook.
Scott messaged me and I messaged him back, and of course he hasn't responded. So thank you.
Well, just like Bunker wrote right here, my cousin was the original Kamala Tabala. His full name was Ronald Peter Tabala Kamala Jr., which is a phenomenal name. I am borrowing the name from him just for this show, out of respect to both of them, actually. But yes, he was the original Kamala Tabala.
How great is it that the the VP that Biden picked is also called Kamala? Kamala Harris.
I wrote a little Facebook thing. I wrote, "Nice try, Joe Biden. We're going to talk about the real Kamala tonight." So I thought I'd be a little clever. Yeah. So anybody has any last thoughts on Kamala? Let him go. I think I'm going to watch some Kamala highlights later. He was a good. I liked him a lot. He's one of those dudes that you think, Like he said, now I'm going to have to get a brown shirt because I will not go shirtless to play Kamala. I wouldn't do that to you, to me, to my family, to the audience. So I'm going to get a brown shirt, and I'm going to put the star and the moon, and then I'm going to get my face painted. And I'm not. But I say, who's hosting the show? I can't. I'm not going to talk.
I'll host. I should be probably Sullivan then. I'll be Kevin Sullivan.
That's exactly why you got to be Sully.
You got to scream. Ah! You got to scream the whole time.
No, that's the other guy. That's the wizard.
That's right. It's either going to be the worst show ever or the greatest show ever, depending on how you look at it.
I'll go, Kamala, what do you think of Kenny Omega?
And I gotta sit there and go, I'm gonna walk back and forth.
Who are you gonna be, Dave? The shark?
I'm gonna be
the Zodiac.
The Zodiac, exactly.
Oh, it's what
he's gonna try to be the Zodiac. He wants just to get you going. The booty man, Zodiac.
I have to apologize to the audience. I chipped one of my teeth, and I'm gonna be like messing with it's just like, it's driving me nuts.
All right, let's move on to the next story. We talked about the tooth already. That's right.
I know. I was just trying to be funny.
It was during the pre-show. We got the whole tooth subject in. Our next story, which let me tell you something. When you're looking for stuff to talk about old school wrestlers and something like this happens to hit you in the face, it is a phenomenal day. And of course, we are talking about. Let me post it. Let me put it up there. Marty Jannetty. Wow, what a week that dude's having. So I got the story right here. So apparently Marty Jannetty was having a bad day. His girlfriend of Jamaican descent. Wow, that's a factor. I don't know why that's a factor. Wait, I just lost it now. See, he decided to go on social media and start not bragging. He said, "Oh, this woman must have hurt him in some way and hurt his little feelings." So he decides to confess to a murder from when he was 13 years old. Hang on. I have it right here. Where is it? I lost it already. Here it is.
Yeah.
You can talk. I'm just looking for the thing.
But he acted like that was just the first time, and he insinuated that it's happened after that.
That,
you know what I mean?
is the greatest part of the story.
Yeah, read that.
The fact I can't freaking find it now. See, I just had it, and I got all distracted because we were talking about.
I feel like this is perfect for Eric to comment since he was the Jannetty, no?
What?
I was the Jannetty?
Wow, he called you the Jannetty of your tag team.
I actually was. I was the one that got all messed up and all that stuff, and Vince went on to be a big indie star. So,
all right. Well, here's what he had said. He was working at a Victory Lanes bowling alley buying weed from a fag. He said that, not me. I'm just quoting. Buying weed from a fag that worked there, and he put his hands on me. Jay said, now a deleted Facebook page. He dragged me around the back of the building. You already know what he was going to try to do. That was the first time I made a man disappear. They never found him. They should have looked in the Chattahoochee River. Wow. So now not only does Marty Jannetty, I couldn't have handled myself, that dude would have raped me. I didn't say I killed him. I said he disappeared. This is the backup story, by the way. This is where he, after the police came knocking on his door, this is what he said afterward. He jumped out of the car. A man tried to fondle him. The man grabbed him by the hair and shirt, dragged him to the back of the bowling alley, throwing him on the ground. I won't lie, I was scared. I can't say he deserved to die, but he deserved to get his ass beat. I made up my mind that day. Nobody ever hurt me again. So this is all because a woman hurt him somehow. That's how this started. So basically, Marty Jannetty, one half of the Rockers, might be a serial killer. Well, what do you think of this, Eric? I don't even know what to put into this story.
Well, you already know where I'm going to go with this. First off, Jannetty, let's get it out of the way. Marty Jannetty was a hell of a worker, and he was probably the anchor. What's up, Jason? He was probably the anchor of the Rockers. Michaels was phenomenal coming into his own, but you could tell Jannetty was a little more seasoned. You know what I mean? Like, he kind of, I don't know, but they were hard partiers, man. And like, if you ever watch a Marty Jannetty shoot interview, he's all over the place. And he doesn't make bones about his partying days. I would always ask Sean where Marty. He always ignored me. Well,
you asked the wrong Sean. That's what it was.
He doesn't understand our New England accent, Scott. It's hard to comprehend. So, but no, Marty's an admitted hard partier. I mean, he likes coke and whores. You know, and I guarantee you there's been pills thrown into the mix and, copious amounts of alcohol. So that being said, like I said, in his shoot interviews, he doesn't make bones about partying, like with the Nasty Boys, with whoever. But like, I'm it's not that I don't believe that Marty would do that. Yeah, yo. But like, like if you watch that Hannibal shoot interview, do you ever see that Hannibal guy, the guy that hates Abdullah the Butcher? He does shoot interviews. Some of them are actually pretty entertaining. He's kind of drawly. He talks like this when he asks questions. So it's kind of like, okay, you're dumb. But anyway, Jannetty is just like, he looks like he's messed up there. I mean, not that I have extensive knowledge on substance abuse or being high, but like I could tell that, like, he was not in his right mind, man. Like, so given Marty's history of, I'm not saying he's not telling me, he very well could be, but I'm speculative at best, because the partying, the scoring by a woman, and I mean, let's face it, his ankles like look like the Elephant Man's face. You ever see his ankles? I mean, they're ridiculously awful. Like, he's got like the worst ankles ever.
Oh God, I gotta look this up.
Yeah, type in Marty Jannetty ankle. You're gonna be. He died of COVID. Free Marty.
Bunker's already defending Marty Jannetty, saying the guy, the gay drug dealer, died of COVID. when he was 13.
Bunk Bagwell. But anyway, yeah, that's what I think. I'm gonna say it's a half truth. Very well could have. I mean, they're launching a murder investigation, so I mean, when we don't know what they've come up, do we know what they've come up with yet? Or
they're looking at missing persons now. Any missing person, anyone who disappeared, anyone blah 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 who could have vanished, any family members who filed a report. I'm not worried. Listen, if this guy, if Marty Jannetty killed some dude, something like that, yeah. But if he killed one guy, that's one thing.
That's one
But
thing.
he's the way he's putting it. He's knocked off a few people.
Yeah.
So now, what kind of world do we live in if Marty Jannetty's a serial killer? I don't want to live in that world where Marty Jannetty could be a possible serial killer. I mean, he could be a whore or a junkie or a druggie, one of those guys from the 80s who, party too hard. But a serial killer? Dave, what do you think, Dave? You think he's a serial killer?
Wait a minute. Scott, don't insult the boss, Whitey Bulger, like that. Come on.
Over under how many people he killed? So that's what I want to think. Over under how many people he killed?
Under 2. I'm gonna say under 2 to be safe.
You're hoping under 2.
If it's true, over 3.
Really?
You think you got a taste for it and was just like, yeah.
Yeah, because Marty seems like there's not much like when like the switch gets turned off, like there's nothing here. Like, you know what I mean? Seriously, like I
don't know. I was reading it and I don't know if I'd consider him a serial killer because I don't think he went in there like, hey, I'm gonna kill this guy. From the stories he's telling, whichever one you believe, he got with a brick and beat the guy's head in. Like, I don't think you intentionally go, hey, you know what? No, this brick looks good. I think it belongs on that guy's head, and then throw him in the river. Maybe afterwards, it was like manslaughter. He accidentally killed him, and then was like, oh shoot, what do I do now? Let me just drag him over here and dump him with fishes.
Yeah,
but see, that's his revised story is different because originally he said the guy dragged him behind the bowling alley, tried to sell him weed, then he tried to molest him, and he just that was it. Now he's saying he was in a car with him. He dragged him out of the car, and like you said, with the brick. Now he's getting bricks. Oh, I didn't kill him. I just beat him over the head with a brick, and then he vanished. What are you talking about? You beat a guy over the head with a brick. Where could he possibly have gone? I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
I just know a brick. Like, what does he think? Like, what was his brick made out of sand? That it was just gonna.
I didn't know this part. Like, this is new to me. Like, I didn't know all this. So now I'm gonna be like, I'm on the fence about this with Marty. I don't know now. See, I didn't know that.
Jason, we'll get to that soon. We will get to that soon.
I wasn't able to find a picture of his ankle, so if anyone listening can send us a picture of his ankle,
you couldn't find.
I'm very curious to see this.
Marty's ankle. Oh my God, we can look up Marty. That's a great. The guy who actually sits at the Google desk going, "Why is somebody Googling Marty Jannetty's ankle?" But see, now, like you said, now you got to wonder because if he killed the one guy, and he promised no one would ever hurt him again. Now, was this also a subtle way of telling his Jamaican girlfriend that I'm going to kill you because you hurt me? I mean, that's how I took it. I took it as kind of a threat, saying, hey, you hurt me. I don't need you anymore. By the way, I killed other people. So if you hurt me, I'm going to kill you too. That's how I picked up on it. I might be wrong.
Interesting. It could have been like a, read between the lines type of deal. Like, hey, yeah, don't think that I'm all right there. There's some screws loose up there. So if you cross me,
did Marty just watch The Sopranos? I mean, what? I don't know where would this enter his mind, dude? Like seriously, like Marty.
Listen, I watch a lot of the show called Murder Tapes, and let me tell you something right now: anybody can kill anybody if they have a screw loose. Then hey, at 13, you're getting raped by some dude in the back of a bowling alley. He might set you off. Something might snap in your head. But my question is, who's the other people? Because if he killed one, like you said, if he knocked off this guy, then I'm willing to bet money there's more than one Marty Jannetty victims out there. And then we could all thank Shawn Michaels for kicking him through the windshields of the barbershop.
And it might have been after like his career went south. And imagine how many people might have been just like taunting him and just messing with him that it might have just got in his head like, you know what? Oh, you're gonna taunt me.
That's even more interesting. So I'm thinking he's killing people before he was famous. You're thinking he killed people after.
Yeah, because I feel like that's not something. If it happened at 13, you're still very vulnerable at that age to. If something like you do something like that, that's gonna stick with you. And it's like what Eric said. If you get that taste, where someone's disrespecting you, you might not let that happen again. Like, you're not gonna let someone disrespect you again, especially if you went to those great lengths to make someone disappear back when you were 13.
Well,
13.
that, and you got to understand, like, the 70s were still like homophobia was like real. Like, people actually thought you could catch that, and like they thought they were predators. Like, and Marty was raised in the South where they're like, they're anti everything. So, it very well could have been something like that, I mean, obviously we know now that gay people you can't catch the gay, and they're not like, I mean, I'm sure there's like sexual predators of every orientation, but you know what I mean? It's like they're all 99.9% aren't like, oh boy, let's go attack. They're like a coven of witches. Like, oh, it's not like that. But Marty was raised in a different time in the South, where they're really not as progressive as we are in the North. Lose part of his manhood. Americans are barbaric. We're naming the discarded.
Scott, I want to see the piece of foreskin in a little bag that says Kamala on it.
Yeah, we have to have documentation of this, please. Proof of life.
Kamala Peterson.
Kamala Peterson.
So wait, now do you think that Marty should, take the path of other guys who, have gone down the deep end, like Jake the Snake and Scott Hall, and maybe do some DDP yoga?
Hey, if he killed a bunch of people, there's no helping him.
I think he should move out of the trailer park and quit taking pills. I mean, that's just. I catch the kid. Thank you, Scott Peterson.
Well, no, listen. I don't think DDP can help you if you're a serial killer, drug addict, drunk. Sure. Serial killer. I don't think he's going to be able to help you.
Guys, I'm sending a Marty Jannetty ankle photo to our group chat.
Oh boy,
Jesus.
It's not a horrendous one, but it is pretty messed up.
Let's see.
It's pretty disgusting. Like his foot looks like it's phony, but it's not. You can tell.
That don't look real.
What? Yeah, it doesn't.
It doesn't look real, but that's his ankle. I've seen another ankle photo where, like,
where's
I
his
mean,
toes?
it looks like the elephant man. Yeah,
Oh, you got it. Where's his toes?
His ankle's so far out that on the other side that you can't see it.
Can you imagine
Wow.
something like that?
That's disgusting.
It's almost as bad as these guys from the NFL that have their fingers going the opposite way, and it's like, how do you live like that?
Yeah.
And that's that we can't see the other ankle that is wrapped up.
I know there's other pictures. We'll have to find them, but I know I saw, like, maybe it was like a shoot interview where he took his boot off or his shoe off and he showed what his ankles look like. So even YouTube might have that, but I don't know.
Now find me Kerry Von Erich's foot. That's the one I want to see.
I don't think there's an image of that.
Is it before or after it was removed?
That's because there is no foot. That's the whole joke. There is no picture. There's no foot. Wow, that is gross, though. That looks like an alien. That looks like an alien. That looks like a real foot.
Guys, can you say hello to my landlord and my cousin Clay?
Hello, landlord, cousin Clay.
What?
No, landlord and cousin Clay.
Hello,
Clay's a little
landlord.
guy. That beautiful lady right there is my landlord. That wonderfully beautiful woman back there.
I yell at him all the time.
Yeah,
Try to get you some good rent.
This is quite the guest show. I should do this more often from the porch. Like, you know what I mean? I'm getting random girls in bikinis and my landlord and my neighbors. And
yeah, so I don't know what to think of this. I don't know what to make of this. About, like you said, if he killed one, he killed more than one. That's how I'm going to look at it.
No.
That's how I'm going to see it.
No.
Oh, let's see one yelling at. Yeah, so that's a whacked out story. I can't wait to find out the story ends, especially considering he can't get his story straight now.
yeah,
No. Like, no, I didn't say I killed him. He's just probably dead. Like, oh, he's just missing, but he's probably in the river. What are you talking about? That's like the weirdest conversation I ever heard in my life.
I mean, who's to say he didn't even make all of this up himself?
yeah.
Like who's not to say that he's just creating this in his head?
That goes to the whole drugs thing. But Tim, do you think, like, what? Just your opinion. What's the next what are we going to hear next about this? Like, what's the next?
The cops got to do something now. But he look. This is where this is. I mean, let me finish the one part. He wrote, "I made my He threw the man in the river, then found out on the news that he was missing. How does that make any sense to you? How does
there's documentation of him gone? The guy?
No. He's saying that I threw the guy in the river, but I didn't know he was missing until the next day on the news or something like that. That's what he's saying. But you threw the guy in the river after you beat him with a brick.
How do you not know he's missing? Oh my God!
What's going on with this dude?
He's like a white Rick James, man. Like
he's whacked out. This guy.
He is. I mean, he's up on the cocaine, Marty. 60
years old. Poor Marty Jannetty is, and he might go to jail for the rest of his life for throwing a fag weed dealer.
I mean, dude,
beating him with a brick and then throwing him in the Chattahoochee.
He put it out there, man. He put it out there. And listen, if they find like a missing persons report of like a 21-year-old gay person that disappeared around that area in 1971 or 2, like Marty's getting pinned with that, man. Like forensics aren't going to save him.
Nope.
But how many?
He basically confessed to it.
But now they got to find the body in the Chattahoochee. Chattahoochee, come 40, 50 years later.
How big is that river? Is it huge?
I don't know. I know Alan Jackson sang a song. Alan Jackson. So I know Alan Jackson sang a song about the Chattahoochee, but I don't know anything else about it.
Alan Jackson.
Not
to be confused with Michael Jackson.
No, they're very two separate, distinctive gentlemen.
That's
okay.
Yeah.
So that's those are our two big stories of the week. I don't know what the hell to make of. I don't know what to make of this story, but I am so interested in it. Like I was so involved in it just because at first it's because of a woman too, that he actually came out and snapped like that, just decided to confess to a murder when he was 13 years old. So either he's really crazy or he's a serial killer and he's crazy.
I think I think A, he's got the concussion thing. B, pills.
I didn't think about that.
A concussion, B pills, C woman. So forget it.
You're right, Mike. It is way down yonder on the Chattahoochee. But now here's another question. Does Vince McMahon wipe out all Marty Jannetty footage a la Chris Benoit if you find out that this guy killed people?
Did he wipe Snuka out even though he didn't get convicted?
No.
Or did he get convicted? Was he wrongful death?
Snuka wasn't convicted.
Yeah, he wasn't convicted, but he was so sick that he couldn't even testify in court. So it was like
That's right.
It was like kind of like a wrongful death type thing, but yeah, I mean, come on, he killed her. We all know it, and that's another insane story. But yeah,
I don't think he will. I think it's like what we said. He's already there. You might not mention him after this, but he's stuck there. You can't take him out. He's already there. People know who he is.
And you want to know what else? Like they're never going to find the body if there's a body. Marty can confess to it all he wants, but they're never going to be able to find enough evidence to do it. Like how many of those guys in that bowl? Think about it. This is 1971 in a bowling alley. Like every guy there smoked cigarettes. Like every guy drank beer. They're probably either all like with emphysema or dead. And like, they're not going to find any witnesses. You know what I mean?
Mm-mm.
No witnesses at all.
On one hand, I really hope he's just crazy and he made this story up.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, I want to see how many people Marty Jannetty could kill. Not going to lie. Not going to lie. I mean, as long as there's no kids or anything crazy like that,
no.
I'd like to hear about Marty Jannetty's mass murderer. Put him on my little shelf with the your Ted Bundys and stuff. I'd be interested in that.
Marty goes on a serial rampage, like.
Yeah, what if he did? We don't know. If he snapped because a woman made him crazy for a day, and he confessed to a murder, who knows what the hell else he could do?
What are 90% of murders? They're crimes of passion, man.
Listen, I watched that murder tape show, man. Terrifying show. It scares the hell out of you that there's people walking around that can just snap your neck for without even thinking twice about it.
You ever watch I Am a Killer on Netflix?
Yes.
That's crazy.
Crazy show. All right, that's all our good news right there. I don't even know how to put it. We got a legend die, and we got another legend murdering people. So I don't know what the hell's going on this week.
Our childhood is like fizzling away.
So one of the fun things about this week, Eric, I know you don't catch up on the new stuff, but I wanted to get your opinion on it anyway because there's a new, and Jason brought it up. Thank you, Jason, for bringing that up. There's a new faction running around the WWE called Retribution. Now, here's my problem with this faction. I understand Vince likes to, rock the boat. Vince likes to shake it up every now and then. Well, he hasn't done that for a while, but this faction is very much reminiscent of what we got going on in the real world currently with Antifa. And I don't even like bringing their name up. I don't like it, but it's kind of like what they are. And I hate them with a passion. But anyway, you got these guys running around spray painting. They cut the ring with a chainsaw. They spray painted everything. They were blowing up transformers. They were causing light outs.
Is this the Shane McMahon thing?
No. It's completely different. You got a bunch of skinny little rats running around in masks and hoods. And to me, it's very, very reminiscent, like I said, of what's going on in the world right now with Antifa, which I don't agree with doing. But I wanted to get your opinion on it. And Dave, you too. What do you guys think? Well, first of all, Dave, especially you, do you think it's an Antifa type thing? And are you okay with it?
Next question. I'm honestly not even sure what they're going for. I feel I was watching Raw. I caught up with Raw the last 2 weeks recently. And I just have no idea what the flip they're doing in Raw. You have this going on, and then you have Raw Underground, which is something completely that I have no idea what they're doing with that.
Is that what I mentioned? What's going to? Is that the thing I asked you with Shane? Okay.
Yeah.
Like what are they trying to build up to this? What are they building towards? They don't have any factions or anything to battle these guys. Like, what is the whole purpose of it? That's kind of confusing me towards it. And they're just being destructive. They're not really doing anything like attacking wrestlers or none of these guys. They're just being destructive. This week they broke the glass, and it was like, but okay, what are you trying to like push here? And now that you brought that up, it kind of feels like it. It kind of feels like
that kind of bullcrap. Yeah. And listen, I put up with a lot of stuff over the years. I let stuff go all the time, but that's the kind of thing that I will not watch it if that's what Vince is going for. And I'm not one of those people. I am not one of those crybaby people. We all know that. I mean, I put up with Sergeant Slaughter turning to being an Iraqi sympathizer when I was a kid, and that was the worst thing ever you could possibly do back then. But yeah, this is getting a little crazy, Eric. I know you haven't seen it yet. Just picture up 5 or 6. They look like skinny little teenagers. I don't know who these people are. None of them are really jacked. They look like teenagers with masks and hoods. One of them's definitely a girl.
Yeah, there's. I think there might be 2 in there.
But 2. They're smashing. They cut the ropes with a chainsaw. They're spray painting. I mean, basically, they're Antifa.
Okay. So you're going to be surprised. I actually did see some of this. And my opinion is that I think with the whole COVID and lack of the live audience thing, I think the only thing that Vince has right now to like draw a rating is to create a storyline that mirrors or identifies with a current topic. I kind of agree with you, Tim. It is Antifa-like, but I mean, you can say it's Antifa-like, but you can also say it's just like any rioter or looter that's going on either side. I mean, no one side of anyone who enables violent acts. You can't say it's okay for this one to they're justified in their violence and their looting, and it's not for this one. Any of it is bad because you're not gaining anything by that. Obviously Antifa is the one that's the worst, but I think that Vince is trying to, and it's almost like he's trying to draw on a demographic that doesn't, because it's kind of cheap heat.
Very
feel me out? Because like if you're going this far to create something that kind of follows current events, especially something like this that's very touchy and that everyone has a strong opinion about. I mean, it's cheap heat, and it's not creative. I mean, I want to watch wrestling to not hear about all that. I want to watch wrestling to take me away from that. I don't want to like turn the news off and then turn on wrestling and see, oh, great. You got Antifa being assholes on the news. Now you got Antifa being assholes on the WWE. It just, I think it's ridiculous.
I think it's only like a clickbait type of thing where he's leaving it until either the end or towards the middle where, his ratings have been going down. So, we want to see what these guys are going to do, if they're going to attack anybody or what the hell they're going to do. So might as well just throw these guys in there and bam, you get a little bit of a ratings boost, which actually this week they didn't get shit because in their 3 hours, AEW beat them in the main demographic that they want to win, which is 18 through 34.
I did
all
see
3
that.
hours of Raw, which is bananas. How a show that's not even a year old or a year old is beating you in where you want the ratings to be at. Your entire 3 hours didn't do squat.
Raw is such a difficult show to watch right now. I tried to watch it. Was it it might have been last week or the week before. How can you, why is the name wrestling even in your thing now? Like, why isn't it just called World Entertainment something? It's wrestling shouldn't even be involved because they don't emphasize on anything wrestling related. Maybe 25%. I mean, do you agree or disagree? Because
I don't disagree.
It's the WWE, the main brand. I friggin' hate that word. Brand. Everybody has a brand. Well, look at this is my blue tank top. It's my brand. You know what I mean? I branded it. That's so dumb. That's so dumb. The WWE is dumb because what? Here we go. I don't want to sound like Jim Cornette and all those guys, but like, I want to see 75% wrestling and 25% bullshit. Okay? I don't want to see 80% bullshit and 25%. Like Kevin Nash said, open the show with a match. You know what I mean? Like, that's what you got to do. Because now all these fans, even my son Nick, like we watched a little bit of a clip the other week. And he's like, is John Cena going to come out and talk? I'm like, what do you mean going to come out and talk? John Cena really doesn't do anything anymore much. Oh, he's a doctor of thugonomics. And I'm like,
he's old school.
But I said, Nick, have you ever seen him wrestle? He goes, oh, yeah. He does the attitude adjustment. I said, okay. So that made me feel a little bit better than he's watched him wrestle. And he knows who The Undertaker is. But, like, when he first said, is John Cena going to come out and talk? He didn't say, is John Cena going to come out and wrestle? Now, he's 11 years old, and this is what he's been brought up seeing. You know what I mean? So it disappoints me that, like, Tim, when you and I were young and we saw that thing come on, the World Wrestling Federation, the revolutionary leader in sports entertainment, and then they'd pan the crowd, and Monsoon and Heenan would be like, this week, blah, 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 da, 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 da. Then all of a sudden you hear the bell ring. Out comes Hacksaw Jim Duggan, or out comes Hercules, or out comes the Ultimate Warrior.
The jobber was already in the ring waiting for this star to come out.
Yeah, the jobber was in the ring. It was so odd. And Dave, probably even in your pre-White Claw era, like you probably remember, like, you know, I mean, what did you grow up? Attitude Era? Were you young or were you?
I got it. I started watching wrestling like pre-Attitude Era, jumping into it.
So you had a Federation years kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
the first thing I watched was WrestleMania 12.
Okay, so you know how to, you know what the deal was back then. So, and I don't want to say AEW. I think AEW has the potential to, because there is a Southern feel about it. Like the formula they're trying to use is kind of like the Southern style meets the new age. You know what I mean? Like it has like an NWA WCW feel to it. I mean, that's just me, but it does. It doesn't. It's not completely WWE or whatever, but they could really harness and create like a really a better program and a better style of wrestling if they focus more on wrestling, which they are in a way. Like that guy punted that guy the other week. Who was that? Adam
Cole got punted. Yeah,
he got punted by
NXT.
who?
Pat McAfee.
Pat
McAfee. Was he the guy that was in the NFL?
Yep, he's the punter for the Colts.
Okay, that was kind of cool. You know, it wasn't like, you know, I see Rey Mysterio's son look like he tried to like climb over a barbed wire fence.
See, that's NXT. NXT is different than Raw and SmackDown right now, which again we talk about it every freaking week. And how is the same company put on 3 shows? 2 of them suck, and one of them is like the one that's supposed to be the minor leagues or the development, whatever, is the best show they got.
Yeah,
and they're doing what you're saying, Eric. NXT does it, and AEW does it. They start off their whatever
their
Dynamite their program with a match. It's not a guy out there talking whatever. No, it's a match. You go right into it, and even that's how you get people like, okay, I want to watch this, and then afterwards you can tell the story. But you know, you gotta get them
into your bullshit.
Especially when you turn on Raw 20 minutes late, and someone is still talking. You're like, I didn't miss anything because the guy's been talking for 20 minutes. I mean, that's insane. But let's get caught up with the comments real quick. James, yes, you are correct, but let's hope they do not ruin what they're going to do with him. James again. Yeah. Yes, that was insane. And it was not just again, I don't know what Rey Mysterio did to Vince or the writers, but that dude and his kid have just been getting abused for the last 2 years.
He's paying his dues right now.
He's paying his dues right. Do you know what that reminded me of yesterday? Not so much the Passion of the Christ movie, but when South Park or something would make fun of the Passion of the Christ movie. That's what that reminded me of yesterday. Just beating. I mean, what he looked like, those marks. I even showed my wife because she goes, "Oh my God, what is that? It's a kendo stick. Oh, that doesn't hurt." And I showed her the pictures. She goes, "What the hell is that?" I said, "That's what happens when you get beat with a kendo stick for 15 minutes on television. It's insane,
nonstop. It was like a sandwich of it."
Dominic looked like he came out of like '96 ECW, man. I mean, that was crazy. Like he just wrestled the Sandman.
I mean, these are dues. If you're paying dues right now, I don't understand that at all. They are kind of small. That's why I said they look like teenagers, which is why I was kind of pointing out the similarity to Antifa. And speaking of Antifa, I don't know who this is, but you made me laugh. Who is this Antifa? But you got to click the link so we know who you are. Tell us who you are, unless you're trying to hide.
Click the link, please.
But it's a very funny joke because I was laughing at Antifa.
I wonder if that's Bergie.
Raw went up slightly. Yeah, but slightly's not good.
No.
They've been on the down.
Orton is so damn good. Bunk, I'm just tired of Randy Orton. We have this discussion too every week. He's the same dude again every week. I mean, yeah, you can't beat him. He's one of the best heels there is. But whatever.
Bunker, Randy Orton's like a Roman candle. Like every 4th of July, it's like you get the big ones and they throw a Roman candle. Oh, that's pretty. Oh, it's over,
But I think Randy should be trying to elevate guys, which I hope is what he's going to do with McIntyre, and not just absolutely get another championship for absolutely no reason that he doesn't need.
Yeah. No, Randy should be putting guys over now. He should be putting guys over now.
Jason, you are correct. AEW is. Who would have thought a year later we'd be talking about AEW being better than 2 of the 3 WWE shows? But it is. It was way more entertaining. And okay, they bring part of it in style into this show and bring up a date for this generation. Raul, let me tell you something, man. AEW is doing it right. They're doing it right. Like you said, they're starting with matches. They're developing these young guys. The only mistake AEW is making right now is putting the belt on the WWE guys.
Yep.
And I said it from the beginning. You got 2 champions so far and over the past year, and they're Chris Jericho and John Moxley, who was Dean Ambrose.
And then you have Cody as your TNT champion.
Hello, guys.
And they can't make that mistake, which is why I think MJF is correct. Hashtag not my champion, because he doesn't want John Moxley as champion. So I think that's great.
Why is Moxley not like? He doesn't have to be Dean Ambrose, man. He's good. He could be Moxley and do something cool. You know, like I don't know.
But that's our whole thing. We talk about it every week. Also, he wanted to get out of Vince. He didn't want a 70-year-old man. His quote, writing his promos.
Yeah.
Okay, but then he comes into AEW and it's the same promo.
It's the same promo.
It's the same gimmick.
It's the same match too.
So my thing with that was that he complained about everything. When he was on Jericho's podcast, he complained about everything, the writing, all this other stuff. He couldn't be himself.
Everything. He
comes in here. Okay, I'm great. You're not having Vince write your promos, but you're still the same character. So was the whole thing just a promo that you didn't like to be told what to do, even though they were doing what you wanted to do? I think that might have been his issue. He didn't want to be told what to do.
I'm sure someone's telling him what to do in AEW. I'm sure he's not running roughshod.
No, but I'm sure that he goes up to whoever it is, either if it's Cody or Tony Khan or the Bucks, saying, "Hey, look, this is what I want to do." Oh, okay, cool, sure. We had this idea. Oh, that's not bad. All right, I'll run with whichever one he does. My only thing with AEW that I've seen a couple people mention is that, and it's happening more these last couple of weeks. They've been trying to make it okay. It's all about wrestling. You have your guys division, but they haven't really highlighted the women's. And then now that they're doing some women's tag team cup, they're doing it on YouTube, and it's like, okay, wasn't it supposed to be like an equal thing? And that's the only kind of issue I have with them. Like, all right, if you want to, why not put out the women's cup on Dynamite? It's not like you don't have any like nobodies. The only I think woman that really gets time on Dynamite is Britt Baker, and I mean she's fantastic. I love her.
She is great.
Why not push more people? Because then you have your champion there that's just gonna be hanging out there not doing squat.
Shit.
Well, let's hope AEW is not going to make the same mistake that we talked about again with WCW, where I'm going to bring in all the WWE guys, and we're going to squash all the new up and comers.
No, they have to develop, man.
They can't do that, like you said, because now you got what's this idiot's name? Long Island Iced Tea. What's his name? He just came over. Zack Ryder better not do anything worthy in that stupid federation. He's garbage. He's done.
He's Cody's boy. He might be turning on Cody soon. That's what I'm thinking. Turning on Cody and going for the TNT Championship. If that happens, it's exactly what we were saying a couple weeks ago that on the Facebook page. All their main championship matches on pay-per-views are with WWE guys. That's it. It's all guys that came from that system that people know, and it's great. I understand that you want to get people to watch, but you got to build your guys as well. You can't just let them squandering there, because then more people are going to come in. Look, you still don't have Rusev anywhere. If he were to come in, what's going to happen? If you would have had what are these guys from the Bullet Club that went to Impact? Gallows and Anderson. If they would have come in, what's going to happen to that division? Because then you have them and FTR, all WWE guys, and it's like, okay, yeah, everyone else is just getting pushed to the bottom when this was supposed to be the changing of the guard, but it's not happening.
Should they even like, because there's like Major League Wrestling, MLW, there's the NWA still, right? That's still going, isn't it?
I don't know if they have any shows, but I don't think they've had any shows because of COVID. But I know that they're still this guy said he's still not selling.
Well, there's Impact too. Why didn't these guys? Everybody jumps to AEW, but it's like they're going to turn it into WWE Light. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, this was just horrible on USA. Now it's horrible on TNT. So it's like I don't know. Like fundamentals, man. That's what we need. Like We need to get it back to wrestling.
But it is very WCW like because all my favorite people in AEW right now are not WWE guys. They're all the new guys. They're all the independent guys. They're all the guys I didn't know about until they opened their doors. MJF, again, I say it every week. Phenomenal heel. Not my champion. I love it. He is such an asshole. He is such an asshole. It is so great to have an asshole like that running around wrestling again.
Tim, don't say asshole. David gets offended. He says crap and butt and stuff like that. So,
I'm doing it so, our Vince McMahon doesn't, come at me being like, hey, man, you got to tone it down. He's not going to come at you, Eric. He's not going to come at you. He's going to be like, oh, it's Eric. That's his personality. Yeah.
Wait. Yes, Raul, I know. I don't lie, Raul. I speak the truth. Well, Jason, I don't know where you heard this from, but I hope this is not true.
No, God.
I hope that's not true. I hope whoever told you that.
Those are the guys.
Please, no. That doesn't make. Oh, no.
I don't want that. No, thank you.
No, the Shield. Yeah, the Shield's not interchangeable, guys. You had the three guys. It was good.
No.
It's not like,
They're like the Horsemen, You can only have a core group of guys.
You know who is doing a really good job, though, in AEW? And I like they're not being pushed anywhere. They're just doing what Randy should be doing, helping other guys, and that's Matt Hardy. Matt Hardy went in there. He had his little feud at the beginning with the Stadium Stampede, and then after that, he's been working with, Private Party coming out as, their valet, and now he's going back to his feud with Sammy Guevara. It's like, he's not having to go up there and be champion or be thrown into, the main event. He's there, trying to build guys up. And it's what he said that he wanted to do in WWE, but no one was listening to him and creative wasn't giving him the time of day.
And now he's every gimmick he wants to be all at once, which is a little weird, but hey, good for him.
A little weird.
Yeah, I mean, so Raw went from Dominic getting beat for 30 minutes with a thing to new factions to these Retribution people. I mean, they're all over the place. We don't know what's going on. The Riot Squad got back together, but now they might not be back together. If they are back together, we don't know. It's like no one can make up their mind. And even the Iconics were looking like they were going to break up for a couple of weeks. What's going on? It's like you can't break up, especially tag teams. They are so bad at tag teams. You can't be breaking up into all these teams.
And they don't really. SummerSlam is less than 2 weeks away, and it's like, what are you doing? There's nothing besides what do we have right now set up? MVP and Apollo Crews, and then what? Yep. McIntyre and Orton. That's the only two matches that I can come to mind from Raw's side. Come on, they're gonna build everything in a week? That's ridiculous. No one's gonna care about those matches. I barely care about the ones they have now with MVP and Apollo Crews.
Yeah, I don't care about that either. But I thought they were the faction that everyone was talking about. But no, it's this Retribution people who, like I said, I personally put up a lot of stuff over years, and I don't get offended. I don't get offended at all. I don't care. I think everything's funny. Yeah, Katie Vick didn't bother me. I mean, it was horrible and it was shocking, but it didn't bother me like that. But this is one thing that I won't even watch it. I refuse to watch it because that's such terrible things. What does Sid Bunker say? Bailey versus Battle Royal winner. And you see that this is where we are at Raw. Eric, I know you don't watch it. When Sasha and Bailey are the best thing on Raw, then you know that's why you're in trouble. And that's no offense to them. No. I think they're great heels. But they are the best thing going on Raw right now is those two doing the two-man power trip gimmick that they got going on. And they're going to end up fighting each other anyway by WrestleMania. I guarantee that.
As long as it starts to get better, I mean, I'm all for it. But in the past year, dude, or more, it's just gone to the shitter. I'm sorry, the crapper.
Well, I think ever since they stopped having fans, it's just gone down. It's like they don't see who's cheering and who's not. They're just going on whatever they feel is good. Whatever Vince and Eric's boy Pritchard says, oh, okay, this is good. Okay, let's do that. And it's like
almost like it started to get gosh darn crappy as soon as Pritchard got in there.
Yeah, running through shows is not easy, and I'm sure he's noticing that very quickly.
By golly, shucks.
and SmackDown too. SmackDown, the only thing really interesting right now to me, they got Braun Strowman now supposedly I don't know what do you want to call it, a rebirth as a monster. I'm a monster now. I'm going to be the monster, and the Fiend, and we don't know what happened with Alexa Bliss. All she did last week was sit and stare at the guy again. Is she going to be Sister Abigail? Is she not going to be Sister? Let's not drag this on. Give us something interesting. I'm all for it. I'm all for her to get something new to do, but it's crazy.
Yeah, I think bringing Pritchard to do both shows instead of it one show getting more attention, it's bringing both shows down. Because I feel like I'm very, very not enthusiastic about watching Raw or SmackDown, unfortunately. I look forward more to Dynamite than I do anything now. Just because they're building stories and they're making you want to watch.
Bunker, look, we actually it's already an hour though, so no, we're not going to do it today.
No,
and we'll say that we were going to do a whole show based on who WWE ruined in the last 10 years. We did the 90s last week. We're going to do that probably next time. But who should be pushed right now? Who should be pushed right now? I don't know. You guys got a date. Who do you think who should be pushed as of right now?
That's on the roster, like that. Not on the roster. That's on television, or that they're still, sitting away in the back somewhere.
Off the top of my head,
I don't know. I'm not sure. You could really pick anybody because I don't see anybody that's really that great right now. Nobody's sticking out. Nobody has that it factor to me.
To me, if there's somebody who's on television, I would say Andrade. I think Andrade is really good. And with Selena Vega, that's a good power duo. That in NXT they did great. The one that I think that isn't on television, and it's the one that I wrote my article about the other day, is Bobby Roode. Why not? Bring him back. Have him feud with McIntyre. It makes perfect sense. McIntyre was the one that defeated him for the NXT Championship. Then he came over here. Well, he came to the main roster. Didn't do anything. Why not have him come back to this and be like, hey, you're the reason I've been home for months now, not doing anything. I want that championship, and I'm going to make myself relevant again. And he can go back to the glorious era, all of that.
Guys, I hate to be a downer, but my laptop is going to die.
It's all right. We're going to end up cutting it soon anyway, but because we had a really good show, and I'm really happy with it. And we're over an hour anyway. But, next, we'll do that next week. We'll bring up the wrestlers who but Bunk, off the top of my head, who should be pushed right now? I don't know. You're going to think I'm crazy, but I'm going to say Adam Cole. I want them up on I want them to take over the main roster. I really, really do. Bunk, he ain't going to give that title up yet. Not till the fans are back.
No.
At least not to Orton.
Yeah. He better not lose to Orton. I hope he doesn't lose to Orton. I'll really be upset if that's the case. But if you ask me honestly, I think but again, it's hard because NXT is a superior brand. All those guys are better. Adam Cole is better. Keith Lee is better. Keith Lee is phenomenal.
Tommaso Ciampa.
All those guys. And unfortunately, they don't want to leave NXT.
But you know what? There's someone who hasn't benefited from that, and that's Finn Balor. I feel like he's gotten lost down there as well.
Yeah, he went down there to be the big guy, and nope, nothing. And he's on my list. He's another guy on my list of what are you doing? How can you waste this guy's talents the way you're wasting it? So I don't know. All right, let's cut that one here. Laptop's gonna die. Dave needs to drink White Claw.
Wait.
I need to take a shower.
Drink White Claw today. Actually, I found
geez.
one of these at the store, so I'm drinking some Sam Adams Oktoberfest.
All right, I won't knock you, Sam Adams.
You got Ugg boots on, and you got like a vanilla candle in the background. I mean, what's up?
Yeah, you're right. Damian Cross. All these guys, these younger guys, man, give them a shot. See what happens. You don't have to be a full jacked up dude just to be a world champion. You can give someone a shot. Anybody.
What did you guys feel about that Raw Underground? Because I know I missed that last week. What are they doing with that? Are they trying to be UFC? Normally, it's the opposite way around, where UFC is trying to pull things from WWE, and now it's like, okay, let's go to this.
Yeah,
but it makes no sense.
it's a ring with no ropes. And then Shayna Baszler showed up last week and beat up a couple women. They have that one giant guy running around beating people up. I don't know what they're trying to do, but
how are you gonna push somebody to it? Like, it doesn't make any sense. And then to me, I guess we lost Eric.
We lost Eric.
To me, the camera angles are horrible because it's going back and forth, back and forth. I'm here watching it, and I'm like, what are they thinking with this? Who's? I hope it really wasn't Shane McMahon's brainchild, because this is just terrible.
It is. It's horrible. It's not watchable to me. I fast forward through that. I mean, Raw is 3 hours long. It takes me about 15 minutes to watch it, and that's sad. That's real sad that it gets to that point. But it does. I don't even know what to say about it anymore. Yeah, but
I can't blame them for losing viewers. And you would think everyone's at home, they should have people watching this, and no, you don't, because your product is stale right now. You're not doing the things that you're doing to try to intrigue people aren't working.
Did you? By the way, I wanted to bring it up too. One of the greatest lines ever with Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara. Did you see that one? How do you say "son of a bitch" in Spanish? Did you see that?
No, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen AEW from last week.
They're up on the. This is 2 weeks ago, actually. They're up on the ramp, and they calling him "you son of a bitch." He's calling Matt Hardy a son of a bitch, and Chris Jericho says to him, "How do you say that in Spanish?" He goes, "Son of el bicho." I started. Oh my god! I laughed so hard for like 20 minutes after that, and they started. I think they're gonna make a shirt. I guarantee they make a shirt that says that. Because here's Sammy Guevara, was supposed to be his little Latin lover, like "son of el bicho." It was so great. Even that one little line makes AEW better right now.
And bicho in Spanish can mean so many different things.
Or maybe it was just son of El Beach, son of El Bitch. Okay. I don't know, but something along those lines. But it was hysterical. Son of El Bitch, you think he might have said even. Oh my god, it was so great! What a great line that was.
He almost killed Matt Hardy last week. I saw with that chair shot that he grabbed the wrong chair.
He grabbed the wrong chair and he hit him in the face and busted him open.
That looked rough.
Yeah, I'm sure he's getting his ass beat in the back for that. All right, Dave, we're going to wrap this one up. We lost Eric due to a battery malfunction. What are you going to do? Next week, hopefully we find out about Marty Jannetty, if he's a serial murderer or not. Let's hope he's not. Yes. But if he is, it's going to be very interesting to find out what's going on. And then maybe we'll finally get to our list next week of underutilized wrestlers. We end up talking about anyway. Bobby Roode, Finn Balor, they're all on my list, and they're all making me very angry when we talk about them. So, everybody who commented, everybody who watched, thank you very much. Make sure you share the show, share it, spread the word, spread the love. We need more people watching. Hey, Dave, any final words before we go?
No, guys, stay safe out there and be well.
Wear masks. It's really not that big of a deal. Happy birthday, Hulk Hogan. I wore my Mega Power shirt today. So we'll see you guys next week. You may not like us, but we're the best thing going today. Peace out, guys. Thanks for watching.